Hello, hello. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Hello, hello. 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 If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Make sure my volume's up here. Hello. Thank you for the badge. I appreciate that. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. My name is Renee. I'm from South Dakota. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Just gonna let a few more people get on and then I'll get started. Hello, hello. Hi, Renee. Kristen. Is it Kristen from Wisconsin? Welcome. Pam from Illinois. Welcome. Thank you for the badge. Badges, Pam and Kristen. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. I'm just waiting for a few more people to hop on, and if they don't, then we'll just get started. But thanks for the likes, guys. If you're just hopping on, if you can just smash that like button, that would be amazing. I'm in this challenge through tonight, so I need 45 individual likes. So if you can all just hit that like button, that would be amazing. I don't normally ask for that, but like I said, I joined this challenge. Man in Black, thank you for the badge. Okay, I don't want to slaughter your name. Is it Chari or Sherry? I'm not sure how you say that. Chari, thank you for the badge. I hate when I try to say people's names. I'm so bad. Thank you for the badge. Is it Kristen? Thank you, thank you. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. If you're not familiar, my name is Renee and I'm from South Dakota. Welcome. Oh, thank you for the heart. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that so much. You guys are so sweet. Have you been here before? Is it Kristen? Have you been here before? On my page or my lives or anything like that? Hopefully they're going to let comments come through tonight. A while ago? Okay, so you have been here before though. Okay. Well, thanks for coming back. Welcome. Sorry guys, my apartment is so hot and I know I could take my sweatshirt off, but so I have my window open, so you're gonna probably hear all kinds of freaky noises. Aw, thank you so much. I'm so glad you're back. Okay guys, well, it's been a few minutes and it looks like we're just gonna plateau out, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. If you're just hopping on and you're new here, tell us who you are, where you're from. If you're not familiar, my name is Renee and I'm from South Dakota. Welcome. Okay, not sure. So if you're new here, like I said, welcome. My name is Renee and I'm from South Dakota. If you're not new here and you've heard me a million times, I apologize. So I started my TikTok in March of last year. The reason I started my TikTok is because on September 14th of 2023, for TikTok purposes, my husband unalived himself. And that's when I discovered that I have abilities to talk to my guides. And they slowly breadcrumbed me to my purpose, which is to be here with all of you wonderful people. Joanne from San Antonio, Texas. I just found you. Oh, well, I'm so glad you're here. And so they breadcrumbed me to my purpose, which led me to be with all of you lovely people. I discovered my purpose in life was that I had to go through all of the loss and trauma that I went through so I can help other people with their loss and trauma. And so they're like, you need to be on social media, which I kind of was a little bit, but they're like, your presence needs to be more known. So here I am. I'm just here trying to uplift others and help others. And I pray that if I can just reach one person and somebody doesn't have to go through what I've went through, especially with losing my husband, then it's all worth it, right? So if you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. You can smash that like button. I would so appreciate it. So when I go live, generally my guides give me a topic or subject. So tonight's subject matter is we're going to talk about appreciation or gratitude, right? And so this is how they give me the message today. So sometimes I'll get the message in the morning. Sometimes I get the message last minute. I get the message all different ways, right? And so I was like, all day I was waiting for my message and I hadn't got one. And I was like, okay, I need a message for my live tonight. What's it going to be? Well, I had to take my dog out before the live and I'm like freaking out because I'm like, I still don't have my message for the night. And so as I was taking my dog out, I was looking out the window because we lived on a second floor apartment. Thank you for the badge. I so appreciate that. So we live on a second floor apartment. And as I was taking the dog out to go down the stairs to go outside, I looked out the window and I could see the grass and the trees. And I heard my guide say, are you present? Are you being present? Now, this is a subject that they've been trying to hit home to me for the last 2 years, or maybe even longer, 2.5 years probably. I've always struggled with being present. Before my husband passed, I was kind of just in survival mode all the time, right? And so I don't know if any of you've all been in survival mode, but when you're in survival mode, you're just in survival mode, right? You're not present, you're not grateful, I wouldn't say I wasn't grateful, but it's just really hard to be grateful. And so so they're like to be present, right? And how many times through your day, sorry, just gonna read this. Okay, I've never had that happen. But anyway, so if you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. And so my first thought when I looked out the window and I saw the trees and I heard my guide say, are you being present? It made me think back to right after Maryland. Welcome. Is it Sarah? My Sarah spells her name like that without an H. Welcome. Glad to have you here. And so my first thought after her saying, are you present? Carrie from North Carolina, welcome. Sarah Nicole. Okay, well, welcome. Is survival mode different for you than your husband? Because I'm dealing with it now myself. Christy from O'Fallon, Missouri. Is it Michael? And where are you from, Michael? And can you elaborate just a little bit more? What do you mean than it was for my husband? Just elaborate for me. Thank you for the follow, Sarah. I appreciate that. So if you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. My name is Renee and I'm from South Dakota. Welcome. So like I was saying, right after my husband passed, I was very present, right? I would go sit at the park and I would journal. And I was so present that I would just even focus. At that time it was fall time, and so I would walk through the park and I would see the leaves on the ground, right? And I would think, each one of those leaves, how special each one of those leaves are, right? I mean, that's how present I was. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Let me back up real quick. Blessed Life from Minnesota. Welcome. Do you have a name? Thank you for the follow. I watched my sister, and still I believe she is just in survival mode. I believe a lot of people operate in survival mode. It's easy to do. Thank you for the badge, Sarah Nicole. Let me scroll here. Thank you for the follow. My name is Andrew. Welcome, Andrew. Dennis from Arizona, welcome. Her husband passed away 5 years after her marriage. Okay. Let me just back up. I want to make sure that was the same person. Okay. Yes. And here's the thing. So I was in survival mode before my husband passed, right? And it sounds like your sister went into survival mode after her husband passed. And when I say survival mode, I mean, I'm just going through the motions, right? Is that what you mean about your sister? She's just kind of going through the motions. She's not really present. She's not really there. She's just surviving, going through the motions. Is that what you mean? Can you elaborate on that for me a little bit? And we can talk about that. Whoops. Sorry. Hit something. I'm always hitting a button. Thank you for the likes. Yeah, if you guys can smash the like button, I need 45 separate likes tonight. I would so appreciate that. That's what I'm talking about, survival mode, is where you're just going through the motions of life. You're not really enjoying it. You're not really being, I mean, I don't want to say grateful, because I think I was grateful to a certain extent. I think it's something we have to do to go into it after a death. And like I said, I was already in survival mode before my husband passed, right? Yes, did I go into a little bit of a different type of survival mode after he passed? Yes, I did. I'm the type of person that I kind of tend to seclude myself if I'm going through something, and it's nothing against anyone. I just sometimes that's just how I deal, right? And especially after my husband passed. Pam, thank you for the badge. I so appreciate that. At the time we were living in our camper, and I literally locked myself in my camper, and I know my mother was horrified because I was in my mother's driveway and I wouldn't open the door for anyone. And it's not easy. No, it's not. Plus, our brother died 10 years ago, and now my other brother is not doing well at all. I am so sorry to hear that. Well, you're in the right place, and I would love it if does your sister have TikTok, or could you get her on TikTok or have her message me some way? I have Instagram, I have YouTube, any way that she could message me, or have her message me some way. I have Instagram, I have YouTube, any way that she could message me. Oh, not quite, maybe a little more. I don't remember, but I literally just locked myself in my camper, and I had to, first of all, I had to wrap my brain around what had happened, right? If you're new here and you missed the beginning, my husband unalived himself in September of 23. And so I had to just be alone to wrap my mind around what was happening in my life, because literally my entire life of 32 years imploded, literally. I don't know, we kind of talk now and we're close for a while, but I did a DNA test. Oh, okay, I see. It is a real shock. It really is, and especially when you realize by him making that one little decision, I literally lost everything. Like I said, from that moment that he made that choice, everything for the last 32 years that I knew imploded, everything. And I didn't really realize that quite yet at that moment, but, in the weeks to come. But so, yeah, so Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And so that's what we're going to talk about. Are you I apologize. I lose words with my fibromyalgia sometimes. So my guide says, are you appreciating or are you having gratitude throughout the day? Like I said, I took my dog outside. That's how I got the message, right? I look out the window, I see the trees, I see the grass, right? How many times a day are you just stopping, like just stopping to breathe, right? And going, wow, for me, sometimes I really have to remind myself, because when my whole world imploded, I feel like I lost everything. And I did lose everything, but then again, I didn't. I know that sounds crazy, but like I look around my apartment and I'm like, okay, I still have the roof over my head, right? And I still have my kids, I still have my grandkids, but I'm still here to see another day, right? And obviously I'm still here for a reason, and I believe that is to help other people. And like I said, to hopefully never, ever have to go through what I went through. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Thank you for all the likes, right? Yes. Magnolia Mountains, did you hop on? Thank you for the like. I appreciate that. Yeah, if you're just hopping on, if you could smash that like button, I would so appreciate it. Thank you for the follow, William. William, where are you from? And so my guide likes to give homework, so just be prepared. Obviously, you never have to do anything, but so several months back, she gave us all homework to every day 3 things that you're grateful for, right? After work, sit outside again until I'm tired and my life is okay. Keep elaborating. Virginia, welcome. What happened to me? Well, I just said it, but I'll say it again. So, in September of 23, my husband unalived himself. All my life is a circle. When they say the circle of life, they knew what they were talking about. For sure. I believe that. And so I challenge you every day to just stop, right? Just to look at the trees, how important the trees are. And here's another thing. So when I lost my husband, I was spending all this time in the park. One day it dawned on me, or maybe I heard somebody say it, I'm not quite sure, but, and it totally made sense. Speaking of the circle of life, of how when winter comes, the trees lose all of their leaves, right? And all the leaves disappear, and the tree goes and basically into hibernation for the winter, right? And as soon as spring comes, the leaves come back, right? The circle of life. Suddenly the leaves all start to grow back and the tree wakes up, right? And we're kind of like that too, right? Sometimes we go into hibernation, but it's really important to remember when we go into hibernation that, there are things out there to be grateful for. And I don't know if that made a lot of sense, but Mary Chapin was the storyteller. Okay. And I probably flubbed it up since I told it the first time. It's been a while ago, but I think y'all understand what I'm saying, right? The tree comes back to life, right? And so I think it's important that if you do go into hibernation or you are in survival mode, to come back to life, right? It's okay to be there for a little while. And what I always tell everybody is know yourself, right? Know if, okay, I just need this time to wrap my brain around it, or, okay, I'm struggling, I need help, okay? Chapin was a storyteller. Okay. I'm not sure who even you guys are talking about. I apologize. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. So I challenge you to think of 3 things every day that you're grateful for, or that you appreciate in your life, right? And I started doing this after she gave us this assignment last time. And I did it for about a week, and then, life gets busy and I work a lot since my husband isn't here. And so I stopped doing it. And then I found myself kind of in survival mode again, right? Just going through the motions, getting up every day, going to work, coming home, eating, going back to sleep, getting up, doing it all over again, Groundhog Day kind of thing, right? And I'm like, no, I'm going to go back to writing and as soon as I started writing those 3 things every day, and sometimes I would even write more than 3 things, right? Nobody says you have to write 3, but just started really paying attention to what I was grateful for again, that pulled me out of survival mode again. What am I talking about? Talking about just appreciating life, being present, and being grateful for what you have. A lot of us, some people live in the past. They can't get over the past. I have a tendency to look into the future, oh, I can't wait till Friday because I get to go dancing, or, and I forget that how important each moment of our journey is, right? Maybe it's not as exciting as Friday night going dancing, but it's still an important time in our journey, right? Even if we're going through something, what we feel is bad, or we're, learning a lesson, it's still part of our journey, right? And we need to be present. Yes. Enjoying the simple things. Exactly. And that's the thing is, we all get so caught up in, the hustle and bustle of life that we do forget to just, we all get so caught up in, the hustle and bustle of life that we do forget to just take a step back and just go, wow, even just stepping outside, like today, I didn't have to go to my second job today, right? And I walked out of my morning job and the sun was shining and it was a beautiful day. I think we were like 46 or something like that. And it was a beautiful day. And we've kind of had some crappy days the last couple days. And it was just like, I walked out of work and I just took a deep breath and it was like, it's going to be a great day. It's a great day to have a great day, right? Just appreciate that the sun was shining today and that it was a beautiful day. And I could walk to my car and it wasn't freezing or the wind wasn't blowing, feeling like it was -10, right? So if you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. 11 from Stranger Things. Okay. I don't know what that means. I don't watch TV and I don't watch movies very rarely. So you might want to elaborate on that. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. My name is Renee and I'm from South Dakota. Welcome. You love it that I try and think positively. Here's the thing is, if you're not familiar with my videos, a lot of my videos end with make it a great day, right? And I say that because it's a choice, right? When I can choose to get out of this bed and go, oh, poor me, I have no money. I have to work 2 jobs. I'm struggling, life sucks. I could do all of that. And instead, doesn't it make your day go so much better? I get up out of bed and I go put makeup on my face and I try to feel better about myself, and it just makes your day go better, right? Today's going to be a great day. Even on days where it's like, I'm grumbling, I don't want to go to the work, I'm tired. I get in my daughter's car, because by the way, I don't even have a car. I get in my daughter's car and I'm like, no, today is going to be a great day to have a great day. It's all in what you tell yourself. What you say, what you talk about, you bring about. I'm from South Dakota myself. Oh, well, welcome. Where in South Dakota are you from? Character on TV show Stranger Things. Well, I kind of assumed that, but thank you for the badge. I appreciate that so much. Let me catch up with the chat. I do that and go to work. It helps me mentally to work a lot. Is there anything you need prayer for this week? I always will take prayer. I'll just tell you that right now. I will always take prayer. Renee could use prayer, and I've had a lot of reality checks in the last 1.5 years since my husband left. I know that there's people out there that have so much less than I do, right? And I'm just really grateful for what I have. And God has always taken care of me. I might not always have what I want, but I always have what I need. And that's what's important. And, I just believe that you have to look at life with the glass is half full, right? It is what you make of it, right? We are the storyteller of our life, right? We dictate how our life is going to be and how it's going to come out. We write our own story. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's always very traumatic and sad when someone takes out life. You never know about that. Correct. I have to watch. I can't read all that out loud because they'll ban me. They'll shut me up real quick. I have a great heart. I will definitely pray for you. Thank you so much, Jake. I appreciate it. I have a Jake too. My son is Jacob, but we call him Jake. Actually, before my husband passed, my husband used to call my son Jacob from State Farm. Depression and a lot of stress, and we talk a lot about on my channel. If you're not familiar with my channel, William, we talk a lot about how stress, my husband always used to say, being stressed out is a useless function, right? You can't change whatever you're being stressed about, right? All you can do is be optimistic and, because really stressing or worrying about something doesn't really fix it. All it does is rob you of your joy in the present, right? That's what we're talking about, in the present. And depression, I believe depression, and not with everybody, I'm not going to blanket everybody, but I believe a lot of depression and anxiety comes from some kind of form of trauma, right? A lot of times we have trauma from childhood, and that doesn't stop at the door. It just manifests itself in other ways. And it's not always from childhood. Sometimes it's from adulthood. And I'll catch up with the chat in a second. But here's the thing, is that you have to go back and you have to walk through that trauma, right? You have to walk through that storm. That's what I truly believe that, because depression and anxiety is just manifested. That's just a manifestation of something else. That's what I believe. Now, I didn't get to do my intro because we got started with the topic right away. You are welcome to believe whatever you want. That's what I truly feel. We agree to disagree here. That's one of the things. I am on my journey of life where I am, and you are where you are. And we agree to disagree here. But I just truly believe that depression and anxiety is just a manifestation of some kind of unhealed trauma. Let me go back. I'm sorry. I know I missed a bunch of chat. Sorry, guys. How do you walk through trauma? Well, first of all, walking through trauma, you have to go back and sit in it. That's what I call walking through the storm, right? What happened to me? And realize everything happens for a reason. I truly believe that. And you have to walk yourself through that pain. And a lot of people don't want to heal the pain of that trauma. They don't want to walk through what I call the storm. And that's why they end up with depression, anxiety, alcohol abuse, addiction, you name it, because they don't want to deal with that pain. Well, here's the thing, is whatever that trauma is, no, it doesn't matter what it is. If you sweep that trauma under the rug, it's just going to manifest itself in other ways. Right? And eventually you will trip over that rug because you will have shoved so much trauma and so much crap under that rug. Eventually it will come back to get you. It will hit you like a brick wall, and you have to sit in it, right? And deal with it. That's how you walk through it. I'm sorry, I'm missing a lot of chat. I'm going to try and go back. You agree with me, Sarah? Did your husband suffer from depression or anxiety? My husband's situation was a little bit different. My husband had, I have videos on it, but just the real quick version of it. So my husband had gotten sick with pneumonia at the end of 21, in December of 21. He went in the hospital. He was doing well. And then my husband had 2 strokes while he was there. And so long story short, my husband was in the hospital for 88 days. 2 weeks before he got out of the hospital, he couldn't roll himself. He could barely lift his arms to feed himself. And so he did get better, and he went through 6 months of physical therapy. and a month and a week of therapy with me just to get him out of my apartment to go to physical therapy. And so he was doing quite well, but I think the strokes was really having the effect on him. My husband was a truck driver, and he was starting to have issues with directions. And I think he knew his time was limited driving a truck, and that's all my husband knew, and that's all he ever wanted to do. And also knowing what I know now, my husband, I believe, had a stroke 2 days prior. So there was a lot of things going on, I think, in his head that he just couldn't work out. Also, knowing what I know now, I truly believe when your time is up, your time is up. And I can't go into all that on this video, but I will talk about it at some point. But yes, he was struggling with a little bit of depression there at the end. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up here, guys, with the chat. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Thank you for the follow, guys. You agree? Like a different version of PTSD. Yes, right? Exactly. You know, and so here's the thing is, especially when we have, oh, I hit something again. Sorry, guys. And I just invited somebody and I didn't mean to do that. I don't know what I hit and I don't know how to get back out of it. So sorry. You're going to have to suffer with me being tiny because I'm technologically challenged. He's not doing well either. I missed something. What did I miss? Because sometimes they hide comments from me. Who's not doing well either? At Jen, LOL. Jen, it made me tiny and now I have all these little invite boxes and I don't know how to get it. I did that the other night and I don't know how to get out. Thanks for the badge. I appreciate that. So if you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. My name is Renee. I'm from South Dakota. Welcome. So I'm sorry, guys. I don't know how to get out of it. I did that to myself the other night. You're trying to figure it out? Okay. I don't know what I did. Anyway. Oh, my cousin's husband, he went to the hospital for chemo and fell walking from x-ray. Oh, I'm so sorry. And thank you for the badge. I appreciate that. Well, we'll definitely send up good vibes and prayers for him. I'm so sorry. So where was I at? Sorry, I lost my train of thought when I made myself smaller. So what I was saying is so a lot of times when we have trauma in our childhood or our teen years, right? That doesn't stop at the door. When we turn 18, it doesn't just disappear, right? Like I said, it just manifests itself in other ways if you're not dealing with it, right? Like I said, anxiety, depression, alcoholism, addiction, you know, whatever it may be, right? And so sometimes you got to go walk back to that and really deal with, you know, that trauma. You just have to. And I think, sadly, I think that's why we have so many, that's where I was going with that, is I think we have so many issues with, you know, couples even, right? If you just hopping on, if you can smash that like button, I would appreciate it. I'm in a challenge. But here's the thing is, I think that's why couples struggle so much, right? Because we come into a relationship and this person's got their own trauma and this person's got their own trauma and it hasn't been dealt with, right? And then we come into a relationship and we're trying to make a healthy relationship when we're both carrying trauma, right? And just think of how much of a better place it would be if we would just, one, learn to love each other, two, show each other grace and compassion because we never know what somebody else is going through, and three, heal our trauma instead of just, oh, I'm just depressed. Well, why are you depressed? What's making you depressed, right? There's something there. Now, yes, I do believe that sometimes there is a chemical imbalance. Don't get me wrong. I said I'm not going to blanket everybody. But a lot of times I think people use depression and anxiety as an excuse to not deal with why they have depression and anxiety. That's just my opinion. Thank you for the badge. I'm going to head to bed. I'm glad I came across you. Thank you. Oh, you're so very welcome. I hope you come back. Have a great night. And remember to make tomorrow great because it's a choice. Thank you for all the likes, guys. I so appreciate that. Let's see. So real quick, if you're just hopping on, oh, I'm glad. Good. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Well, I thank you for the likes too. I appreciate that and all the love you give me. I appreciate that so very much. Real quick, I have to do my little plug or my guy gets upset with me. So if you're not familiar, I also have a YouTube channel, and that's under Scorpio Medium. And if you're not a subscriber, I would love it if you'd go over there and subscribe. All the videos that I upload here are uploaded over there. The only difference is if you miss a live and you would like to catch it, I always upload my lives over there. I'm generally live Sunday through Wednesday at between 7 and 8 o'clock Mountain Time. I try to get on close to 7. Sometimes I'm a little late, but I'm here Sunday through Wednesday. If I'm not here for some reason, I'm totally exhausted and I just couldn't do it, or I'm on grandma duty, but generally I'm here. What is the name again? It's called Scorpio Medium on YouTube. Mandy from Oklahoma, welcome. Glad to have you here. And like I said, you can catch my lives over there if you missed them here, because I always upload them over there. I'm trying to save Thursday nights. I'm going to start trying to go live over there because I have a lot of people that are subscribed over there that aren't on TikTok. I just haven't started that yet. And silly me, I joined this challenge on Tuesday. I've never done that. So I had to be live tonight, 3 nights in a row. So that's why I'm here tonight. You're so very welcome. And I wish you luck with all of your family and your sister. Like I said, you're welcome to have her message me, and I would love to talk to her, any way that I can help you or your family. I would gladly do that. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. If you're not familiar, my name is Renee and I'm from South Dakota. And then the other thing is if you check out my bio here or over there on Scorpio Medium, you'll find my 2 email addresses. I'm at scorpiomedium74@yahoo.com or scorpiomedium74@gmail.com. And for a limited time from now until 7 p.m. Mountain Time on Sunday, I'm offering, if you book with me to do a channeling of a crossed over loved one, you get that for $25. So you can book, if you send me an email, that's how we set that up. And I would love to channel a loved one for you. They love to talk to you and they love to send you messages. So always be aware that they're always there with you, because they love to send you little signs. And I always tell people, you're not going to get a billboard. People are like, I'm not seeing any signs. Well, they're not going to send you a billboard. I mean, they might, but it's very rare, right? Usually you get feathers or coins or angel numbers, something like that. Scorpio Medium. Yes, I believe it's like that. And I can't remember. I think it's 2 words, Scorpio Medium. So type it in that way, and if not, separate it. I'm sorry. I'm very technologically challenged. Is it together, Jen? I couldn't remember. Sorry. And it's on my other phone. I can't get it on my other phone. Yeah. So, but I would love it if you subscribed. Does anybody else have anything else they want to talk about or ask me about tonight? I think that's everything. So my guide just said in my head, remind them. She's very pushy, by the way. She just said, remind them 3 things that you're grateful for every day. Be present. Enjoy the journey, right? Even when we think that life is happening to us, it's really happening for us. So just enjoy the journey, right? It takes every single bit of our journey to get to the end, right? So good, bad, indifferent. Enjoy the journey. Be present. YouTube. Yes. What is that? Is it one word, Jen? I can't remember. Sorry, Jen's my best friend. She's my ride. I always say my ride because I don't like to say that other word. It's too negative. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. If you're not familiar, my name is Renee. I'm from South Dakota. Does anybody else have anything else they want to talk about tonight? Anybody? And I hope I was catching all your comments. I have all my filters off, but sometimes they still filter out comments, and I don't know why. They never do the troll comments, just the comments that I want to read. Shannon from Georgia, welcome. Glad to have you here. Washington. What's your name, Washington? Glad to have you here. I love Washington. I lived in North Idaho for 4.5 years. Excuse me. And I absolutely love Washington. I love Oregon and Washington. I always say it's the best of both worlds, right? You get on the one side because you get the ocean and you get the mountains, which I love both. So, William, welcome, William. Glad to have you here. So if you can smash that like button, I would sure appreciate it. Will Debbie be all right? I'm not sure who Debbie is. Can you elaborate for that for me? Sorry, I can't talk ever. Thank you for the badge. I appreciate that. So if you're just hopping on, we're talking about being appreciative, being grateful, and being present. That's what we're talking about tonight. I'm a medium. I do believe I have psychic abilities too, but I don't ever do that on a live. And I don't generally channel anybody on a live either. If you would like a channeling session, you can email me and set that up. Thank you. Oh, thank you for the heart puff. No, you don't have to be sorry. No harm, no foul. No problem at all. Shannon, not a problem. Having what? Can you elaborate on that? Thank you for the heart. Aw, you're so welcome. I'm just so glad you're here. Gosh, never be sorry. We all make mistakes. And it wasn't really a mistake. I'm trying to figure out what you're saying. Keep elaborating and I'll figure it out. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that so much. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. Thank you for that. I always need a good laugh. I appreciate it. You guys are wonderful. Thank you so much. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. If you're not familiar, my name is Renee. I'm from South Dakota. I apologize. I'm in a little tiny, I hit some button and I don't know how to get back. Hi from Illinois. Do you have a name? Hi from Illinois. If you're just hopping on, if you could just smash that like button, I would sure appreciate it. I need 45 likes tonight to finish off my challenge. I don't even know what it means. I think I get points or something. I don't know. I just knew that there was 3 things that I normally almost do or do. So I'm like, I might as well just join, right? Sharon, welcome from Illinois. Glad to have you here. Thank you for the follow. Is it Mama Wendy? Glad to have you here. And where are you from? Okay. Sharon, thank you for the, sorry, let me go back. Thank you for the follow. Hard time. You're having a hard time. I'm getting that anyway. Can someone tell me where this is? I am pretty new at TikTok. What are you looking for? Because I'm pretty technologically challenged, but Virginia, welcome. But somebody here, we help each other here. This is a community of being together. Everybody helps everybody. That's why I created this community, to uplift others and to help others heal and just be here for each other. The like button, I'm not sure either. I know I struggle when I get on, sometimes I get on people's lives and I'm not quite sure how to like it either. I think you just hit the screen. Is that right, Jen? Do you just tap the screen? You're so welcome. I think you just tap the screen. Thank you for the badge. I appreciate that so much. And the likes. And the other badge. Okay, guys. Well, I think I'm right about 45 minutes. Does anybody else, thank you for the likes. Does anybody else have anything else they need to talk about, get off their chest, vent about today? This is a perfect place to do that. Anybody dealing with a loss or not dealing with a loss and not sure how to deal with a loss? That's what I'm here for. Did it work? Well, I'm seeing hearts. Is that you? It'll tell me in a minute. It's kind of delayed. No, it's saying Mama Wendy. Dealing with way too much. It sounds like you are. You know what? Just remember to breathe. Put it all into perspective. that it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. You know, it's life. I just say life is a big school, right? We're all just here to learn lessons. No, it's me. Okay. That's what I thought, but I wasn't sure. Next month will mark a year since I lost my dad. How does loss become a gain? Um, that's a good question. So if you're not familiar with my story, so my husband unalived himself a year and a half ago. Um, Let me just start by saying I don't think you ever stop grieving, right? Know that you gain a beautiful angel on the other side, that they are at peace, and that they're always with you. They're just not here in the physical world, right? They're just not here for you to hug and squeeze them, but they're here. Anytime you're thinking of your dad, he is right there with you. I guarantee it. And here's the thing too, is they always want to be included. Oh, thank you. You talk better than type. I know. In July will be 2 years. My dad will be gone. So there's a space between Scorpio and medium. Okay, I thought so, but I wasn't sure. Oh, Scorpio medium has no spaces? Okay, now I'm confused. Thank you so much for your kind words. Oh, you're so welcome. But just know they're always there with you. The veil between us and them is so very thin. If you're just hopping on, you're not familiar, I am a medium. And whenever I channel somebody who's crossed over, they're always like, the first thing they always want their loved ones to know is, I'm okay. I'm okay, right? We're grieving for us, for our loss of them in the physical world. They're in such a better place, right? And so if you think of a sheer curtain like you would put up in your house, right? That's how thin the veil between us and them is. And different times of the year, it's even thinner. And so they're always there with you. Always. You know, whenever you're thinking of them, they're with you. And they want, like I said, they want to be included, right? So on your dad's birthday, you know, make him a cake and you guys enjoy it. He would love that. I guarantee it. Oh, thank you for the heart. Who sent that? I haven't been following. Oh, he's back. Thank you so much for that. So if one believes in reincarnation, how is one still with you? I've been wondering that. Well, I don't think everybody reincarnates. So this is how I believe, right? I do believe that some people do reincarnate. This is how I believe. So I believe that if they still have lessons to learn, that you have the chance to come back and to learn those lessons, right? But I don't think I don't believe everybody reincarnates, or sometimes you reincarnate so many times and then you've learned the lessons that you needed to learn. And then does that make sense? Thank you for the heart. You celebrate the wonderful memories. Allow yourself to feel the sorrow. 110%. Exactly. And that's the thing is, right? You have those memories and you have to allow yourself to walk through those emotions, right? And I tell everybody, you know, I have my moments still, right? It's okay to have a moment. It's okay to not always be okay, but just have a moment. Don't unpack and live there. Scorpio medium. Okay, thanks, Jen, for clarifying that. It's bad when I don't even know my own channel. Oh gosh, I pray and learn everything I need to. I'm tired. Yeah. You know, and sometimes there's just, because I ask my guides all the time, I'm like, sometimes there's things when I'm on a live that just come out of my mouth and I have no idea how I know that, right? And my guides tell me it's because of many, many lives, of many reincarnations, and many, many lessons that I've learned to come here at this moment in order to help people. Yeah, she's a sweetheart. We've been friends for 20 years. She is really what got me through the passing of my husband, for sure. For sure. Okay, guys, does anybody else have any other questions? Always seeing the number 444. What does that mean? That is an awesome question. First of all, the next time you see it, stop and think quickly. What was I thinking about? What were you thinking about? And then Google, what does angel number 444 mean, right? And then go down through, and whichever one resonates with you, pick on that and then read what the definition is. But generally it has something to do with what you're thinking about. It's your angel or your guides trying to tell you something. I always see 3 or someone doing something 3 times. So weird. It isn't weird. I don't believe in coincidences, and I don't believe anything in this life is random. I just don't. I believe every single thing that happens in life, right? And it happens for a reason. And Jen, I hope you don't mind. I'm going to use my friend for an example. So hopefully she doesn't get mad at me. So my friend had an accident with her car, and she was waiting for the insurance to pay it off so she could get a different car. And we kept talking about, and she was a little frustrated, and we were talking about, because she needed a car, right? She needed to get into another car. And I kept saying, just sit tight, and we were both believing that it was happening for a reason, because either she was going to get a better deal on a car, something better was going to come along, whatever. And we were right? So sometimes it's just having that patience in that moment to believe that it's happening for a reason. Nothing. I don't believe even everything that I've been through in my life. I don't believe anything happens to me anymore. I believe everything happens for me. It's about changing your perspective. Everything in life is changing your perspective. Just twerking that perspective a little bit. Why am I going through this? What am I supposed to be learning? Instead of, why is this happening to me? Right? Yes, so agree. But yeah, angel numbers are huge, especially 444. I see 44 and 444. I see 555. And every day I see all the numbers. Like, I'll always look at the clock. It's like 144, 244, 344. It's crazy. 44% on my battery on my phone. I can't remember if it was the beginning of this week or the end of last week. It was like 15 minutes to my live, and I hadn't got my topic yet from my guide. And I was like, okay, what am I going to talk about? And earlier that day, somebody had asked me, because and I'm not going to lie, because there's days I'm not okay too, right? Like I said, I just don't unpack and live there. And somebody had asked me, they said, Renee, do you have faith? And I said, yes, I do. But I'm not going to lie. This last year and a half after losing my husband, I'm human. I struggle too, right? And I said, there's times where my faith does wane sometimes, right? And it was just crazy because, so right after I said to my guide, I said, I need a topic for tonight. What are we going to do? We got like 10 minutes to the live and you haven't told me a topic yet, right? That exact moment, I look up on the clock. It says 6:45. I look over at the battery life and it says 45%. I knew that was a sign. I hurry up and got on Google and I said to Google, what does angel number 45 mean? And I'm just going to give you, not the exact version because I don't have it right now with me, but basically the gist of it is have faith. So if that's not a God thing. Mine are 111, 333, 411, 311, and 1111. It means something. Yes, I see almost all of those too. I don't see the 411 or the 311, but I see the 1111. I see 101. I see 111, 333, 555, 222. I see them constantly all day long. And like I said, just a lot of times they're sending you messages. Just be very conscious of what you're thinking at that moment when you look it up. Thanks for being honest how you feel and where you are at life. I told my guides when I started this journey, I'm like, because if you're very new to me, my whole life is out here. I am the guinea pig, and that's okay. I'm okay being the guinea pig if I can help even just one person, right? But if you go through my videos, I'm very raw, and I'm very real. I'm just me, right? And I told my guides, okay, I'll do this. you know, and I vowed to myself that I would only always be the authentic me. You will never get the not authentic Renee. Sometimes you get the dirty hair, don't care. Sometimes you get no makeup. Sometimes you get makeup, you know, and there's times I've cried, right? You just get me. I am who I am, right? And I'm just here trying to help somebody. And like I said, if my story or something I say can help somebody, then it's all worth it. It's all worth it. If my guides are trying to tell me something, does that mean I have special gift? Okay, first of all, everybody has special gifts. We're just now this is just my opinion, so don't hate on me. Like I said, we agree to disagree here. I'm not pushing what I believe onto anyone else. I believe we're all born with special gifts. We all have special abilities. The world has just brainwashed us that we don't. And if we do, then we're horrible, terrible people. And that's just my take on it. But everybody has special gifts. We all have the ability to hear from our guides or from our loved ones. It's just a matter of tapping into that and being awake to that. Oh, sorry, Jen. You're so welcome, Gina. Thank you for the badge. I hope you didn't mind that I used your story, Jen. If you're just hopping on, tell me who you are, where you're from. If you're just hopping on, if you can smash that like button, I would so appreciate it. I'm in a challenge. Tonight's the last of my challenge. Sorry, guys. Okay, guys. Well, that's pretty much everything I have, unless somebody else has any more questions or anything for me. Like I said, you can find me here Sunday through Wednesday if you just need somebody to listen. You've had a crappy day and you just need a community for some support. That's what we're all about here. My community is your community. You're never interrupting me. You know, I always believe that the topic goes where the topic is supposed to go. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that so much. Lovely Debbie 49. You're so very welcome. Thank you for the badge. Thank you for the like. All the likes and all the loves and all the hearts and all the everything. I appreciate you guys so very much. Rob, thank you for the follow. So I'm like literally like I think a minute away from my hour mark. So if nobody else has anything else they want to talk about, I hope to all see you again soon. Like I said, if you just need a place to come, you know, you're lonely and you need somebody to talk to, or, you know, you want to meet some new people, hop on. We'd love to have you here. We just love everybody right where they're at. I didn't get to do my complete intro. I only have 2 rules here. We don't talk politics because there's a million other pages out there for that. We talk about healing and loss and them kind of things and uplifting others. So there's just no place for that here. And all I ask is that you just be kind. We just be kind to each other and we love each other right where we're at. So on that note, if nobody else has anything else they want to say or ask, going once, going twice. Thank you. I hope to see you back here. Okay, guys. Well, on that note, I hope you have a great night. You're so very welcome. I hope you have an amazing night, what's left of it, no matter where you are, because it's like 8 o'clock here. I don't know where you are. Remember to make tomorrow great, because it is a choice. And I will be live again, because I go dancing either on Friday or Saturday night or both. So you won't see me again until Sunday night. So I hope you all have a great couple days. Remember to make it great. It is truly a choice. Enjoy the journey. Be present. And I'm going to say until we meet again, I'll see y'all on Sunday.